I am super excited to have Alex Duke with us today to talk about how minor tweaks can make a major impact. I love formatting, and I feel like sometimes it's the most cumbersome piece of it, only because there's so many ways that you can improve a viz, and it's really detail. It can be very detail oriented. So I am like all about this session. So I'll turn it over to Alex, who can do a little bit of information about herself and then her talk. Alex, take it away.
Thank you, Emily. Okay. Oops. I'm showing my face again. I'm going to go to public here and make this big for y'all. Okay, my name's Alex Duke, and I'm going to be talking about minor tweaks for a major response. But first, a little bit about me. My name's Alex Duke. I've been using Tableau for about 4 years, and I recently joined the Slalom Consulting team, the Information Management Analytics team at the Atlanta office. I graduated from Kennesaw State University up in Kennesaw, about 45 minutes north of Atlanta, with a major in math and statistics. And just for fun, I'd let y'all know that I enjoy yoga and running, and definitely a delicious Coke Icy. So what are we going to talk about? We're specifically going to focus this talk about color. So how can we use color to engage our audience, and using color to direct the attention to our audience? And most importantly, how do we pick the right colors, and how do we get the exact colors? So I'm going to kind of walk you through this, kind of silly example. I got data from the Tableau Public, and this is how many dogs are in each household for each state. So here we have the number of dogs per household for the states in the Southeast and also in the Midwest, because I just moved from Chicago, and I have a new love for the Midwest, but definitely love for the South. So that's what we're focusing on. So when we start our visualization, a lot of the times we use bar charts, and this is good. And this does tell a story, but there's a detailed story that needs to be told, and we want our audience to focus on certain things, like what's the average here? Like, what do we want to look at, and what colors can we use to really engage our audience? So the first thing that we usually do is take the categorical variable or the discrete variable, and we just throw it on the color shelf. And a lot of times you see visualizations like this, but does this tell a story, or does this tell me, and where is my direction? Where am I directing my attention to my audience? It's kind of going everywhere and really nowhere, and not really telling a story. These are just random colors that Tableau just generated, and it doesn't really tell me anything. So the next thing that's common is, we add the average. So this does tell me something. Well, we have an average, and it's about 1150, and we have a certain number of states that are above it, and that's where we want to direct the attention, and that's good. So now we have a clear distinction. We can see, okay, there's 6 states that are above the average. But do these colors really make it really easy for our audience to know what we're trying to tell them? Not really. So it's kind of tough when, I think it's great that Tableau automatically gives us colors, but we have the option to pick specific colors, and we shouldn't take that for granted. So now we see clearly, it's more like an easier way of looking at it. Here we have 6, and I use a very cool green color. It's easy for the audience to look at, and it directs my attention immediately to these 6 green lines. So another thing that I particularly like to do is add annotation. So I actually created a calculation to count the total number of states that actually meet the average. And we're going to use that in our visualization that we're going to end up creating our dashboard. So let's look at, oh, and I apologize, I was playing around with this and I changed the color. Let me escape out of here and go to this sheet. So it's blue right now, but I want this to match the color that the rest of my dashboard is. So so right now this is blue, but I'm pointing out these 6 states that I've colored in my visualization green. So it would make sense to my audience to also color my what is describing in the same color. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this value and select the right green color. It's this one right here. So now this tells me a good story. I have 6 states, and here are those 6 states. But we're also talking about these minor tweaks that we can make to make a really impactful visualization. So as someone who's looking at this visualization, this really bothers me about visualizations. These dots. They're so minor, but it really does impact the visualization. It looks like it's halfway done. So what can be done is we can increase the width, or we could potentially change it so that if we're looking at states, if there's a way to abbreviate what we're looking at, then we can do that. We can use the state abbreviations, or maybe use another abbreviation that is available. We can edit the alias. Okay, and we could also, if we don't have the option to abbreviate, we can also pivot our table. So hold on, let me go back, and like I said, we want this to be green, not blue. So we're going to change that really fast. And go back to where we're looking at. And this also tells me a really nice story, and I'm able to clearly see the states that are there. And it's simple. Like if you have something that's cutting off, all you have to do is take the time to move it over. One thing that I like to do, maybe I have a ton of where I have a scrolling bar, and there's a lot of text over here. So how do I figure out what the largest text is, and how do I figure out how wide I need to make it? What you can do is create a length. So if we do len, L-E-N, and I'm going to type in location, and I'm going to name this len location, and I'm going to convert this to discrete so that I can put it right beside the location. So now I can sort here and bring the top of the len location. I'm going to sort descending. So now the length that is the longest is going to come up first, and then I can make sure that it's the right length exactly. So that's just a little tip that I like to use. Okay. And another thing is consistency. So if I have a map and I'm talking about the states that are, over the screen, over the average line, it doesn't make sense for me to have green over here and blue over here, or if you're using any measure. So I see a lot of visualizations, and maybe they have, they're using dogs owning households, and they've clearly defined this dog's owning household. If it's over the average line, it's going to be this green color. But maybe if I'm looking at cats in the household, it doesn't make sense for me to also use green because I've already determined that dogs over the average line is green. So maybe I use a different color to represent cats instead. And then speaking on color, so maybe I'm tasked by the Atlanta Humane Society, or American Humane Society. Well, their colors are blue and red. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to have this green visualization. I need to, it would make sense to incorporate their colors into this visualization. So what I'm going to do is show you how we can match this blue color up exactly. Because, we could kind of come close. So I can maybe pick, I don't know, this one looks close. But it looks fine, but it's not exact. And the point of data visualization is making it as easy on the user as possible. We want them to clearly see something and make it visually appealing and aesthetically appealing. So what I like to use is if you double click on it, you can pick the screen color. So now I can pick whatever color I want anywhere, even off of this color page. So if I want this red, I can pick the exact red color, or I can pick this exact blue color right here. And then Jeffrey Schaefer made a post on this, but if you actually drag out this blue color and drop it into your custom colors, when you save this and open it up, or if someone else also opens up your workbook, they'll have your custom colors saved right here. So that's always good to have. So now we have the exact blue color there, and excuse me. We can also edit the color and double click and use this exact same blue color again and press OK. Oops. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not sure why this is now blue, but anyways, so now we have the American Humane Society's colors, or American Humane Association colors for their visualization if we were creating a visualization for them. So one thing to keep in mind when picking colors is to know the psychology of the color. So what are people used to seeing? So, red is something that people usually see as being very stand out. It means a lot of the time it's used to mean these critical elements. And we're supposed to use this very minimally. It's to very much draw attention. And so this is I use this all the time to make sure I'm conveying the right emotion to my audience. So orange is more of a friendly and inviting color. It also depicts movement, and yellow it means happy. I mean, how can you not look at this smiley face and just be happy? Green is balance, and usually something that between green and blue it creates this calm and friendliness. Especially the lighter blue, dark blue is usually your corporate and business designs, very clean, and purple is wealth and luxury, and also the softer colors bring us spring and romance. I tend to use a lot of black and white. I also tend to dress in a lot of black and white because it's versatile, and when you do add a splash of color, it really stands out, and that's good in visualizations. Color in a minimalistic way at the right time is what creates impactful visualizations. So with the black, the deepest black, it exudes power and has an elegance to it. Gray is a calm and conservative design, where white is very clean and simple. Uh, and a good note is that that our visualizations, the backgrounds don't have to be white. Um, there's a lot of visualizations that use this cream and ivory to be a backdrop, and it actually creates a really beautiful visualization. Um, and and don't be scared to do it, especially when you're doing your creative visualizations. It's good to test out color. Now, if you're using a company or creating a company dashboard and you know that they're going to be printing this, maybe not the best idea to throw a black or a bright red or a tan background to that. The printer people might not be as happy with us. Okay, um, so so going back to what all we talked about, so so using color in a minimal way, maybe just one color to attract the audience to one specific point. It engages our audience, and it also directs their attention to a particular place. Picking the right colors can convey a particular mood that you're trying to engage your audience to take on. It can also, if we're talking about how well something's doing, we probably don't need to use red. Instead, maybe like a green or a blue will also be a better choice. Um, so so that's all I had. I hope that you don't just use the default colors that are available in Tableau anymore, and that you take a leap and try to be creative with your color palettes. So do we have any questions?
So there's none in the queue currently. I think it's interesting, Alex, that you have really dressed up your presentation. So it matches the TFF logo. That was
Yeah.
awesome. I see what you did there. I like it.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, Alex, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. I think it's been really informative, and I agree. We can do so much with color and being really thoughtful about it. So thank you so much, and we will be back at 1:15 on the East Coast for Paul Benoob and Sweet Vis O' Mine. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.